Hello, welcome to our third day of live streaming from ITMA Asia Shanghai exhibition. We are at booth number H8F15 of REFOND Equipment Corporation Limited. Today, we will introduce 4 functional fabrics related testing machines. The first one is the one next to me. It is the RF4008CF cool feeling and heat conductivity testing machine. It conforms to the standard number JISL1927, GBT35263, and CNS15687, L3272 method. The construction of our machine composed of 2 main parts. The left side is the control cabinet and then the right side is the test chamber. In the test chamber, we have 1 base plate and 2 test heads. The 2 test heads are on the left side and the right side of the machine. When you do the test, you need to put the sample on the base plate, and the base plate is temperature controlled. It can reach up to 30 degrees Celsius and it can be cooled down automatically down to about 10 degrees Celsius. So you can have a range of temperatures to choose from for the temperature of the fabric, the specimen. On the left side, on this arm is the cool feeling test head, and then on the right side is the heat conductivity test head. Both test heads are controlled pneumatically by air cylinders, so the movement of them are very repeatable and precise. It eliminates the human error related to the older designs, which requires you to put the test head onto the sample manually. The maximum size of the sample is 200 millimeter times 200 millimeter, and you can put the sample directly onto this plate. You can also use as required by the GBT standard, you can also put the sample on this foam. Our machine can adjust to the both test conditions, so it can also adjust to specimens of different thickness. The machine has a touch screen. On the touch screen, you can set the test parameters for the Qmax, which is the cool feeling test, and also the heat conductivity test. You can set the temperature of the test head, the temperature of the base plate, and also other test parameters. In the test tab on the touch screen, you can choose how many samples you want to test and the sample code. Also, you can choose whether to do just the cool feeling test, just the heat conductivity test, or do both tests at the same time. If you choose the last one, which will do the 2 tests at the same together, the machine will automatically adjust the temperature and then do the cool feeling test first. Then the test head of the cool feeling test will move away, and then the test head for the heat conductivity test will come into place for the measuring of the data. You can see all the stored results in the result tab and then view the detail inside. In the service page, you can do calibration for all the temperatures and the powers and the values related in this machine. Everything can be calibrated, so the traceability is very good. The next machine we will introduce today is the RF4008HP, a giant ray tester heated plate method. This machine conforms to the AATCC test method 201. We have a computer program to be used with this machine. It will show the temperature sensors and the reading from the temperature sensors and also the graphs during the test. It can also store the test results and export the report for you to print or store. The tester has a top cover that can be opened easily. And in the front of the machine, you will see a little cup. In this cup, you should put the test liquid you want to use. In the standard, you need to use DI water for this test. In some cases, for some customers, you can also use artificial sweat for your needs. In the middle of the machine, you will see a big heated plate. This is where you put the specimen. When doing the test, you need to lay the specimen onto this heated plate with the surface, the face of the fabric that will touch the skin of the human facing down. At the middle of this heat plate, there is a little outlet, water outlet, that will, when testing, will pump, the water will come out from here and will simulate the sweating of human skin. On the side of the machine is the air duct. Air of a controlled speed will come out of this duct horizontally across the surface of the specimen. This is a small metal plate that we use to hold down the one side of the specimen closer to the wind to prevent it from sliding away. At the top of the machine, you will see two sensors. One is for the temperature of the specimen, and then the other one is for the wind speed. And in the back of the machine, there is also a hole to put in the external calibration anemometer to measure the wind speed inside. This is for calibration. To do the test, you need to open the top cover, put in the specimen, and then close the cover. Then you need to operate the machine on the computer software. All the data will be automatically collected and calculated. It will also store all the data afterwards for your reference.
刚刚这个后面静音，刚刚是被静音了。
无线图传那里。The next one we will introduce is the RF4008 MST, moisture spreading test. This one conforms to AATCC's test method 195 and GBT 21655.2. This one, in this machine, as per the standard, we have these test probes that will make contact with the specimen on both sides, the top side and the bottom side. And this test probe will measure the resistance distribution across the surface of the specimen.
样品，不测了吗？这个样品不测吗？有数据了吗？有数据了吗？
And it also comes with PC software to collect all the data and for the generating the report. In addition to the requirement of the standard, we made a lot of innovation. First of all, the amount of water to be pumped required by the standard is 0.2 milliliters, and we made it adjustable to a range of up to 0.45 milliliter, with still the same precision required by the standard. So you can choose to use a different amount of liquid, test liquid for the test, other than the one required in the standard. Also, we have more test zones on the test probes than required by the standard, so we can make more detailed and precise measurement of the distribution of the moisture, the water on the fabric. Since the test liquid used in this test is salt solution of sodium chloride or calcium chloride, after a lot of tests, there will be some salt crystals on these pins, which may corrode these pins and affect the test measurement in the future. So we also implemented automatic cleaning device for these test probes. Back in the machine there is a cleaning cup. When you use the cleaning function, the top test head will move up, and then the cleaning cup will move forward and then be placed in between the top and bottom test heads. The top test head will come down and seal the inside of the cleaning cup. Then clean water will be pumped from outside to clean all the pipeline and also the testing probes. After the cleaning by the clean water, hot air will come into this test cup to dry the top and the bottom test probes to make sure that no excess water remains on the test probe. Also, for the top test head, we have 3 stages of different loading force that you can choose. The standard one is 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams of force to put onto the fabric. We added a 1.5 kilogram and a 2 kilogram loading force option that you can choose from the setting page of the touch screen. From the setting page, you can choose the test time, the loading force, and then the amount of liquid to be used. And in the test page, you can choose how many samples to test and what's the code of the sample. In the surface page, there's a button for purging the air inside the pipeline, calibration page, and the diagnose page. In the calibration page, you will be able to calibrate the loading force and also the pumping liquid amount. This button here is for cleaning of the top and bottom probe, the cleaning function that we just talked about. The last machine we will introduce today is the air permeability test. This is our new air permeability tester. We have added a new test mode for the machine. So there is a fixed flow rate mode, and a fixed pressure mode. In the fixed pressure mode is a more traditional method for testing, where you set the target test pressure for the test, and this pressure corresponds to the pressure difference between the top and the bottom surface of the test specimen, which is clamped here. And the machine will control the flow rate so that the pressure difference across the specimen meets the target value. Then the flow rate is measured and calculated to produce the permeability index. The unit for the permeability index includes all of these options that you can choose from to meet the requirement of different standards. After the testing of one specimen, the test result and the test parameters will show in the table on the right. For the fixed flow rate test, we added for the measurement of the breathability of face mask. It's also called the flow resistance of the face mask. So it measures how difficult it is for the air to move through the face mask. For this test, you need to use the 5 centimeter squared test head. We have a reminder up here. We have a reminder up here on the touch screen. It's for reminding the user. For this fixed flow rate test, in the standard, it requires 8 liters per minute flow rate, and when doing the test, the machine will control the flow rate flowing through the face mask to be 8 liters per minute, and then the pressure across the mask is the main measurement that is required by the test, and it will be used as the result. Let's do a simple test in a fixed pressure mode. So to start the test, you just need to put a specimen in the specimen clamping area and then push down the handle on this bar. Push until you hear a click. That indicates that the test head is automatically locked, and then the test will start. The machine automatically adjusts the flow to meet the target value, target pressure. For different fabrics, the machine can automatically adjust its measuring range so that you do not need to change the measuring range manually. When the test is done, a beeper will sound an alarm, and you will be able to see the test result on the touch screen. Then you can push down onto the handle again to release the sample clamp. For the most important innovation for our machine, our new machine, is that you can use an external calibrated airflow sensor or an airflow meter to calibrate the airflow for this machine. This produces better traceability than the traditional method for calibrating. The traditional method of calibrating requires different set of plates, which is more labor intensive, and also it can provide not a lot of traceability. Now we can use flow rate meters to calibrate this machine. Oh, okay. So for this machine, you can use. We have 6 different types of test heads of different test areas. To change the test head is also very easy. First, remove the test specimen. Remove the pipe connector. It's a gentle push. Then loosen this screw. Then you can pull the test head out and put a new test head in. To remove the bottom test head, you just need to put your finger on the side of the test head and then lift it up. There is also one pipe under this test head. Pull on the little knob on the connector here to release the pipe. Then to put on a new test head, you just connect the pipe by pushing it into the connector. You will hear a click that indicates the firm connection. Then you need to align the notch and the pins on the bottom of this connector, of this test head. Push the test head down until it's flush. Then put on the new test head. Put this part into the slot on the bar. Gently push down onto the screw and then tighten the screw. Connect the tube by pushing the connector into the other part of the connector. And that's how you change the test head on this machine. That's all for today's live streaming. We are REFOND equipment at H8F15 at the ITMA Asia Shanghai exhibition. We also have live streaming tomorrow at the same time. Please come back. See you tomorrow.